testing. Alright. Okay, so welcome back. We are, as you can see, I've been decorating Skyhold. Apparently the Kunari throne has these very sexy looking Kunari figures. Yeah, this is definitely me. Another little grindy thing. Oh, even better. Oh, wow. I've never really played around with like the decorating settings, but wow. Yeah. If I could have this in my bedroom, I definitely would. But if I could have a house, unlimited money and stuff, I'd probably put out sexy gargoyle statues all over my property. Also, a quick note about my Kunari's appearance. You might not be able to tell here. My husband had an issue with his entire beard, essentially, because it looks terrible. It looks like little bits of plastic pasted onto his face. Well, I did make him back in during Christmas, and I tried to go for a Santa thing, but that's as big as the beard that you could make. But I decided to compromise. I took the beard off. I left him some stubble, but I gave him a porn stash because we are gonna just be very flirty with everybody. Might as well just make it just as cheesy as possible. So today I'm thinking we are probably gonna do some of the little meandery things around. I have been doing some of the grindy, non-questy things, so the only thing I've really done around Skyhold is just a few minor upgrades, some of the minor acquisitions. I think I flirted with Josephine a little. But might as well, let's see who's awaiting our judgments. I think I'm probably gonna also just, as the name implies, I'm probably gonna do. I was wondering what the camera would do with those statues in the way.
After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him?
I'm a giant spearhead. Well, I'm also going to continue and do Darian's side quest and fix his daddy issues and see who else we can flirt with and Skyhold.
You answered the death of your clan with a goat.
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
That didn't look very bloody.
Don't look at me.
No foul. He meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor.
Okay.
My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
This feels like an easy one. Oh, that was fast. Pretty much just teleported to Tevinter.
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
Remind me, what's the precedent for nearly ripping apart time at the seams?
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
It'd be terrible. I wouldn't execute it myself, honestly. I never felt like any slighted or annoyed by him. I might as well use him.
Your magic was theoretically impossible, Alexius. I could use people like you. Your sentence is to serve, under guard, as a researcher on all things magical for the Inquisition.
No execution? Very well.
I'm not sure why he would even, like, agree to that. But okay. I got myself yet another agent.
Mistress Pulin of Sarnia is accused of aiding and abetting the Red Templars in the Dales. She sold a quarry to them for a handsome sum. They used the quarry to grow red lyrium by enslaving townspeople.
Oh, we actually
The
got
only
her.
extenuating circumstance,
Okay.
Mistress Pulin was procuring supplies to keep the remaining townspeople fed.
If you'd like to explain your intentions, speak.
My crime was misjudgment. The land sale was meant to bring prosperity in hard times.
I
Yet you
honestly...
kept taking coin from the Red Templars, even after you realized what they'd done to the people.
Why not? It bought food for the ones remaining. Isn't that enough?
And she made a hard choice.
You question whether greed or
Hell.
necessity led me. Tell me which you weigh me for.
Go to work. I think she made the hard choice. I'd put her back to work. Although I'm not entirely sure if her townspeople actually have her back, especially knowing what she did. Oh well. Just weird. I wonder what authority I have over Orlais, just to be like, oh, she was helping the Red Templars, we'll just pluck her away and I'll be judge, jury, and executioner, but
Mistress Poulin, you will spend all your ill-earned money rebuilding the town of Sarnia. If the townspeople forgive you, your debt to them is paid.
Your worship, I will do my best to repair what I have done.
That's all of them. Oh god, I assume that the put her to work is probably like make her go work in the coal mines.
Inquisitor.
Right. Josephine's just gathering supplies, which is just boring. Alright, let's see if Solus has anything to say. Nope. He wants me to go save his spirit lady, his spirit friend.
I'm told you have Alexius researching magic for you. Research is always what made him happiest. Perhaps I'll even go talk to him eventually. One word of advice. If he suggests altering time as a way to solve all your problems, give it a pass.
Oh, excuse me. What about solving just some of my problems? Is that okay? Oh, I'm gonna tell him.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
This could be the Venatori. Lure us somewhere remote, then an ambush.
I highly...
Perhaps. Although this does look like my father's penmanship. Or, could he have joined the Venatori? No, that can't. Well, anything is possible.
I highly doubt a
Let's go.
tavern in the middle
Let's
of
meet
a
this
town
so-called
is
family
considered
retainer.
remote.
If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married. Because you left.
That too.
Let's go meet this retainer then.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough.
Items. Wee.
Yes?
Nope.
Do you think that you and I
Nothing
might
with her.
someday?
I don't see how that benefits me in the slightest, my dear.
What about me? She doesn't want to take a mustache ride, I guess. Wee, life has no consequence.
Greetings, Worship.
Any new horses? Oh, more horses.
All's well.
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Surprisingly well. Not many could feed these people, let alone their mounts. Makes me wonder what you're capable of.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
These are particularly disappointing. When I saw these Draco lists, I was expecting something stubby or lower to the ground, like riding a Komodo dragon, or if anybody's played Golden Axe, these lizard creatures they're low to the ground and you could ride them. These are just pretty dumb.
Inquisition?
It's like, ooh, a death horse, like a death unicorn. I changed to this one because this one at least seems like it has a slightly different skeleton model. Let's see what this big fat phony is up to.
This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
The Grey Wardens are huge and important. You're part of that.
True, but without a blight on the horizon, everything the Wardens do feels like waiting. This, the Inquisition, is what matters now. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
Certainly who you follow defines who you are. It's not that complicated.
We're not all blessed with your quick wit. Personally, I'm glad I have any wit at all. It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
What is this Grand Tourney?
You've never heard of it? The Grand Tourney of the Free Marches. It's a spectacle. Song, dance, wine, every amusement you can imagine. But the greatest part is the contest of arms. Prove yourself in the Grand Tourney, and you can make your fortune.
How did he help you?
There were 100 men on the field, each one fighting for himself. The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took all comers. The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
He must have wanted something from you to help like that.
A pupil, a squire. Someone to teach and to mold. He saw my potential. When it was over, he offered to mentor me. To teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
Maybe. Maybe you would have had to, like, not be a phony, I guess.
Different doesn't always mean better.
In this case, I think it would have been better. But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with.
It's
Inquisitor? What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
castle still being built. That specialization, I'm going for this one right here. With your trainer, because how couldn't I? Then I don't find them all that great. But at least working with rift magic kind of makes sense, being a mage and having a rift opening and closing key on my hand. I'm calling that something.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. They're in full redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by
Red
the
lyrium. I'll take it.
Power comes with a terrible madness.
Samson's armor was glowing with this stuff. He'll go mad soon enough.
He seemed clear-eyed at Haven. Even so, the deluded commander is no less worrisome. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
I like finding the Red Templars' vulnerabilities before fighting them head-on.
We'll need every advantage against what courses through their veins. Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
Now he's got to deal with his own demons.
As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
You're being especially serious today.
I know. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
Which makes me wonder how come
when I joined
mages
the
don't go...
Inquisition.
Are mages
It's been
addicted to
months now.
lyrium?
You've never complained.
Why would I? I chose this. After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Are you in pain?
I can endure it.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment. Was there something you needed?
You and the Red Templars' leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. He seemed a decent man at first. Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He ended up begging on Kirkwall streets. He committed further crimes, but managed to evade the Order's justice. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Hey, lessons learned. Yeah. Now, I don't know if he'll reference anybody's like choices of like what happened to Samson, if he got back into the Templar Order, or if we arrested him, or if Hawk didn't bother doing anything.
Why
Hi,
do you
kitty.
think Samson joined Corypheus?
He had a chronic lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin buying it from local smugglers. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
You can't deny being a general is an improvement to living on the streets.
I'd rather die than kneel to Corypheus. Clearly Samson felt otherwise. I don't understand how he became so powerful.
I think it's
Even
weird
with Red
that
lyrium, Samson's glory
if you
days are
side,
long
if you
behind
pick the Templars, Samson isn't the enemy. I believe it's some random, I think, elf. The game audio is a tad low, is it? Let's see. Just thought I didn't change any of my settings. Wrong button. Let's see. Testing. 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 All right. Seems like all I have are microphone settings. Let me see. Oh, my audio's all high. Let me turn some of these down and see if that helps. Yeah, there doesn't seem like I have much control over the game audio that plays. That conversation is just really quiet.
He hates it all because of the darkness behind the door. Some doors should stay shut.
Alright, Cole.
I'd like to talk about what happened to you before we met.
Before you, Reese was my friend. He showed me I was wrong to kill the mages. I thought I was helping them. Then he and Evangeline went to Adamant, and I went with them.
I help people by killing them.
Would hurt Reese. We found out dangerous things. It scared Seeker Lambert, and he scared the mages. It started the rebellion. Seeker Lambert told me what I was.
It did?
Reese couldn't look at me.
So Anders had nothing to do with the rebellion?
I found more Templars. That's all.
So maybe the game just sounds slower because my... Because I'm closer to the microphone this time. Let me see if I turn down the microphone.
What was the Spire like when the Mage Rebellion started?
Dead and dying.
Because honestly, it kind of sounds a little quiet in the headphones as well.
Some peace, some war. Some wanted it all to stop. Evangeline was a Templar. But she helped Reese help the others. She set them free. Adrian was a mage. But she killed mages to force the fight. She wanted blood. Reese just wanted to help. To stop people hurting. Maybe that's why he saw me.
What can you tell me about Reese?
He was a mage. He saw me when most couldn't, and he remembered.
I assume this is all exposition from the
I watched
book.
over him. I worried Evangeline would hurt him. She was a Templar, but she didn't like hurting people. When I left, she stayed. Now she watches over him. They should have been with the rebels. Maybe they ran away together instead. Neither of them like killing.
If you like, I could use the resources of the Inquisition to locate your friend.
Yay, nepotism.
If they are alive and
or
safe,
cronyism.
they should stay
That's
away.
cronyism.
The last time he saw me, he didn't want to look at me. He saw a monster.
Hang on, I
Let
think I'm gonna
him
put my
forget.
glasses. My eyes are like awfully bothering. I think it's because of the light. Or maybe I need to just take some Benadryl.
What did you mean when you said you killed mages?
Some of the mages at the Spire wanted to die. Too sad, too scared, too much. I didn't know what I was. A ghost, I thought. Fading in the fade. When I came to them, they could see me. I
The
used
ghost
the
of
knife to
suicidal
set them
thoughts,
free.
I guess.
When Reese found out, he made me stop. Made me understand. There were other ways to help. I didn't know.
Sounds like you didn't know what you were doing.
No, I killed people. I knew. I just thought I had to. They were hurting, helpless, haunted. It was all I could do. It was wrong. I was wrong. If I start again, you or Cassandra or Cullen need to kill me.
What can you tell me about Adamant Fortress?
It is old, full of sadness and pain. It should be torn down. The veil is thin. We found a demon there. It had touched a man and made him real again. It scared Reese and
What?
Evangeline. The man wasn't supposed to be real. Then the demon found us. It put me back in the cupboard on the bad day. Reese and Evangeline saved me.
You said Seeker Lambert told you what you were.
I'm hiding Reese from him, but he chants words and sees. I won't let you hurt Reese. My nose explodes, a shower of blood. Just another parasite that's wormed its way into our world, feeding off all the things you can't have. What we found at Adamant made him angry. We were the first rock rolling at the top of a mountain. He had to stop us. He killed so many. He didn't care. Cold, corrupt. So I came and killed him.
If you hated Seeker Lambert, why go to the Seeker Fortress?
Because he was right. I was a demon. I saw demons at Adamant. They put people in the dark, in the old hurts. I didn't want to be that. I heard the old songs of the Templars at Val Royeaux and followed them. If I forgot, fought, fell to felling, Templars would kill the demon. I wouldn't hurt anyone again.
So I guess
I'll
that
talk to you
explains
later.
why he'd be hanging
How
around
do you know?
the Templars.
I'm glad you came to talk to me.
I'd like to talk with you about Templars.
They're heavy with forgotten songs, like Varric. Some of them are too loud. It's hard to stay near them. Cullen is softer, but demons asked questions that hurt him. Evangeline was kinder. I want to explain, but Reese's mother spoke to spirits, but not to him. Then she died for a Templar he loved. Words just bounce off the edges.
Okay.
What's your general opinion of Templars?
Some like hurting mages. It makes them happy, or less afraid, or dreams again. Woke up shaking, stalking the ground for one who looks like her. Always some rule being broken. But not all Templars listen when whispers crawl around inside them. They try to protect people. Like Cullen. The good ones remember that mages are people.
Can you tell me more about how the Templars feel to you?
They feel older than they look. They've been changed, and their bodies are incomplete now. Delirium helps, but their bodies always want to connect to something older, bigger than they are. That's why they block magic. They reach for that other thing, and magic has no room to come in. Like when I listen to Varric.
I assume that has to do with, like... So, the Seekers... I know Cassandra explains that Seekers essentially become tranquil and then they're revived, and that's the source of their powers, and I assume that's the same with Templars, so they're always reaching for that... what touched their mind, which is, I guess, the spirits.
Can you tell me more about how the Red Templars are different?
The red lyrium is different, darker. Daggers under the skin. It eats you inside until you're nothing. They hear a different song. The song behind the door old whispers want opened. They are dead and dark and done.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably. Old pain, shadows forgotten from dreams too real. This side is slow and heavy, but here is what can change.
I'd like to talk with you about the Inquisition.
I don't understand it. People talk like it's a person, but it's not even a thing. A dagger can be a way to let pain out, but even if it isn't, it's still a dagger. The Inquisition isn't real unless it has something real to make it. It's like a spirit.
Yes.
Can you explain how your mind works?
Yes?
Walk me through the way you help someone.
I start by listening. I hear hurt, feel it fretting. Some you can solve by giving something, food, a blanket, sleep. Some are intangible, terrible tangles that catch on a crack, fixed, festering, and the person makes a pearl of pain. I shake it loose. No pearl, no pain. They can hope, they can heal.
Sometimes you say things that relate to other members of the Inquisition.
They remember me. Their eyes stick, some more. They want me to be. Varric is quiet inside. He pulls me more to hear, makes me a person, calls me kid, a friend. Solus, bright and sad, observes and accepts. Spirit self, seeing the soul, Solus, but somehow sorrows.
So I guess this sets up his becoming a real boy quest, which honestly I don't know, that quest kind of makes me dislike Varric for some reason.
What do you sense when you focus on me?
You're too bright. Like counting birds against the sun. The mark makes you more, but past it, you reach across. Mindful, meaning. You pull it through to this side, make it real here. And past that, the weight of all on you. All the hopes you carry, fears you fight. You are theirs. It must be very hard. I hope I help.
Too bad our Inquisitor never reflects any of that.
It must be sad, feeling everyone's pain all the time.
Why?
Isn't it?
No. I help. I find wounds and heal them. I salve, soothe, save. I see pain and make it better. How could I not be happy?
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
Because I'm the player for
He was his
I'm the
father.
player.
I've heard about some oddities here in the keep. Was that you?
Yes. Maybe. What was it?
Let's see, I know this one.
Can I assume you're responsible for the turnips that have shown up in the fireplaces?
They don't smell the same raw.
You needed that soldier to smell them. so he could die thinking he'd gone home.
He did go home.
I don't think I've come across all of
Someone is leaving peeled plums on the windowsill. It's
the
attracting
results
flies.
for these.
Spiders need to eat.
Nope.
Let's talk about something else.
All right.
The servants are having trouble remembering some odd events.
Oh, I guess they disappear.
The funniest thing I've seen in years. That cat dancing around, hopping and pouncing like a fool. Made my day bright, it did. Maker knows what got into the little rat catcher.
Okay. I take it that's a reference to cat videos.
Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
Okay.
All right, let's hear what you've got.
Jump right in, huh? I like that. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Verschel. Land squabbles. They're getting little people beat up. So I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through.
Just walk through. Easy, right?
Huh.
Was this a tip from one of your friends?
Not a Jenny. Just normal angry people getting sick of being in the middle. I don't usually hear about things this far away. But having a friend like you is like getting really big ears. Bigger ears, I guess. Shut up.
Who's asking for this?
I'm asking, because I heard people complaining. See, when nobles fight, it's not them. It's their little people stuck in the middle. It's like a polite war, so no one pays attention. But if you march through, the people up top feel threatened too. Stuff like this is always happening. Good sovereigns to be made if you're one of the few who notice.
What does the Inquisition get out of this?
Nobles think everyone is out to get them. So when your helmets march through, both sides will think the other's your ally. Both get scared, both make deals. Worst case, you get a little bump among the people just because they see you active. Can't promise anything, but something will happen. Just like always.
Just like always.
All right, Sarah. I'll have someone look into it.
Sarah,
fun, right?
I guess I'll go to
Being
my
important without
table
doing a
and
thing.
point at the
Well,
map
not
and
much of a
tell
thing.
people to go do
Not
something
everything
else.
has to be torn skies and ancient
my thing.
arseholes.
In my place.
Every little thing makes a difference somewhere. Your wishes,
Just funny
something,
because, like,
something.
that's just... It's always just like trying to
I'll be
make
back
you...
if I need you.
Go on.
I get the concept of the war table is to kind of like, oh yeah, you're making decisions and stuff and sending armies, but it's like, well, it's all happening off screen. And in that sense, it makes sense because you're not getting involved in everything as the leader of the Inquisition. But then that's sort of brought down by the fact that you have to freaking go around and pick your own flowers and mine your own ore if you want better armor.
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way.
I can send you to your death.
I'm pleased
Hey,
to
Graham.
hear it. Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, your worship. You need anything, let me know.
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the charges?
I suspect Haven's quiet by now. Might be worth sending the boys back. We could recover some supplies, get an idea about the enemy's strength. We could even pick up any stragglers who haven't found Skyhold yet.
We'll talk later.
Ah, I love you, Grum.
Inquisitor.
And you are?
The bartenders, cabin.
Just the bartender?
You were expecting...
Where's my old
I was
bartender?
expecting the same face from Haven.
It's not
not a hereditary profession. I think Fleesa, what was it? She joined the Chantry?
I guess I'll
I
try
don't
it
understand
after.
the type, but that's her business. So...
Oh, that's probably because you're not used to anal, honey.
What's the current mood?
Ennui.
Ennui, huh?
What's the word out there?
They're pouring in from the Dales. That's good, I think.
Where did you study? I assume
Can't
you're
handle
trained.
the Mexican food, then
Bartending?
don't eat it.
I'm no alchemist. You mix the bottles that don't taste like nug and you pretend to listen. I suppose I trained at home during feast day family visits. My specialty is ale. Old Antivan recipe. The secret is ale.
You're a bit of a hard ass. Why are you here?
And if I could fight, I'd be in a helmet. If I was a mage, I'd throw fire. And probably be dead. But I can't do anything. Just like the hundreds of people who can't do anything. Who make sure the thousands who can do something can do it.
It's essentially trying to get
You
a
know
sense of the
safer
little
place than
people.
your castle. Do share.
As you were.
It's small things like that that kind of make you remind you that, you know, this entire place doesn't just happen. Like, things have to get done, and it's such a mundane. I like actually going through and like seeing the help and stuff do things around the castle. It's just kind of that it doesn't really happen all that much and doesn't really get acknowledged. Like, Iron Bull has that little cutscene where he dresses you up like just like some random soldier, which I don't think works for my Kunari character. Is like, huh, isn't our Inquisitor a Kunari that has only one horn and a bitchin' porn stash?
Inquisitor, come have a drink.
And I killed a dragon, so we get this cutscene.
To killing a high dragon like warriors of legend.
What exactly am I supposed to be drinking?
Maras lok.
What does that mean?
It means drink. I know, right? Put some chest on your chest. That little gurgle right before it spat fire. And that roar. What I wouldn't give to roar like that. The way the ground shook when it landed. The
He has a
smell of
heart
the
off the
fires
dragons.
burning. Tarsidathan Halsam. You know, Kunari hold dragons sacred. Well, as much as we hold anything sacred. Here, your turn.
So the audio pouring just kind of reminds me of Andromeda. It's like, hey, we'll show the pouring off screen instead of trying to animate it, which is for the best.
That thing you just said. You shouted it during the fight, too. What does it mean?
Did he?
Oh,
I didn't remember hearing
Tarsidathan
him saying that.
Halsam. Closest translation would be, I will bring myself sexual pleasure later, while thinking about this with great respect.
You shouted that while it was breathing fire at us.
I know,
Like I said,
right?
he gets a heart off of dragons. I don't think I've seen any fan art of Iron Bull with a dragon, surprisingly. None that I could remember, anyways.
Yes, the second cup's easier. Most of the nerves in your throat are dead after the first one. Atashi. The glorious ones. That's our word for them. Atashi.
Why do you think the Kunari think of dragons that way?
Well, you know how we have horns. We kind of look more...
Some of them.
...dragony than most people. Maybe it's that. But a few of the Ben Hasrath have this crazy old theory. See, the Tamasrans control who we mate with. They breed us for jobs like you'd breed dogs or horses. What if they mixed in some dragon a long time ago? Maybe drinking the blood, maybe magic, I don't know. But something in that dragon we killed spoke to me.
Maybe you were bred to kill dragons?
When you put it like that, I'm worried I killed one of your gods or something.
Nah, one of Tevinter's gods, maybe. They worship dragons, right? Kill the shit out of them all you like. Dragons are the embodiment of raw power. But it's all uncontrolled. Savage. So,
just
they
like
need
you.
to be destroyed. Taming the wild. Order out of chaos. Have another drink.
Actually, I kind of wonder what a high dragon would do to, like, the ecology of an area. Like, I would imagine something that big would need to eat a lot. It makes you wonder why there's even any bears in the area.
Nice. To dragons.
To flirting with you.
The Iron Bull. And his ass-kicking Inquisitor.
Ah. No. Stuck.
You're doing good work, boss. I like how this Inquisition is coming. Next time you're free, why don't you come grab a drink? I'll introduce you to the Chargers.
Can you tell me more about Saharan?
It was a damn ugly place. Only getting uglier when I left. Between the Fog Warriors, the Tal-Rashath, my people, and the Vince. You were lucky to go a day without blood. What do you want to know?
What were the Fog Warriors like?
They were the worst of the rebels. They trained for stealth attacks. They made this fog. I never saw any mages, so I figured it was alchemy, not magic. They were almost invisible in it. I'd be on patrol in the market square. The fog would roll in, and before I knew it, half my squad dead without a sound.
It almost sounds like you admire them.
They didn't use poison. They didn't hurt civilians, and they were damn good fighters. You have to respect that. Plus, they hit their Vince as hard as they hit us. Hearing some terrified Magister scream, "My slaves! Where are my slaves?" in the fog always put a smile on my face.
Tell me about the Tevinter people you fought.
The Vince sent forces to Saharan every autumn. Guess they didn't like the summer heat. We had some good fights on the beaches, standing in knee-high water foaming red with blood, ships on fire around us. The cities were worse. Free bit of advice. Don't let the Inquisition forces get suckered into urban combat.
Why do you hate Tevinter forces so much?
Doesn't
What
someone
makes them so
describe
bad?
that?
It's not their armies.
Like a scene like that makes you
They
wonder
bloodied
how
Saharan year-round, killing loyalists, supporting
sadistic
rebels.
he has to be to
Alam
not
had no
describe
city
such a gruesome scene
Nobody
without
would
like
accept
any
the
kind of
position. The
shock
last
or
war who held it died
PTSD.
inside a year. Trying to conquer a country is one thing. Making it so nobody can live there, that just screws everyone.
What are things like for the natives of Saharan?
I remember one guy. He made these things, fish wrapped in thin bread.
I wonder if in the
Nice guy.
next game we're
Talked to
gonna
him
get
every
like
morning.
some resolution between the
One time I'm
Vinter and
asking about his
Kunari
bad
War
bag.
too.
I see he's nervous, trying to tell me something with his eyes. Next thing I know, his assistants draw knives and come at my team. The rebels had forced him to poison my food.
And then?
I'd seen how nervous he was, so I hadn't eaten anything. A couple of my guys weren't so lucky. We killed the rebels. I lost 2 men to the poison, another to knife wounds. My friend who made the fish wraps died with a knife in his throat. Close quarters fight. He was caught in the middle. That is what things are like for the natives of Saharan.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss. How you doing?
Oh, Might
You
as well
said we
drink
should
with
go
him.
get some drinks and meet your company.
Right after I just drank all that all that dragon booze.
Ah, good. We're not drinking alone. How you doing, creme de la creme?
Your worship. I'm so glad he has someone new to hit with that joke.
I can think of worse places to go with Cremisius.
So can the chief, believe me. He loves his nicknames.
Hey, when I was growing up, my name was just this series of numbers. We all give each other nicknames under the Qun.
They ever wear shirts under the Qun, chief? Or do they just run around binding their breasts like that?
It's a harness, creme.
Yes, for your pillowy man bosoms. Let me know if you need help binding. You could really chisel something out of that overstuffed look.
I'm not gonna press
A lot of the chargers went
matter.
looking off for stronger drinks. Let's see, who's left? We've got Rocky and Skinner there. And over there are Stitches, Dalish, and Grim. Crazy bunch of assholes, but they're mine.
Were you born on the surface, or are you from Orzammar?
Orzammar. I got exiled. Stupid noble crap. Also, I accidentally blew up a bit of the shape rate.
Rocky's one of our best sappers. He can take down enemy fortifications faster than a golem.
I'm also working on my own version of Kunari black powder. I've almost got it.
Yeah, you really don't.
Gunpowder.
Why aren't you with your clan?
Our keeper thought I should see the world a little.
Dalish don't have Templars, so they can't have too many mages in a clan at once.
Now, sir, you know I'm not a mage. That'd make me an apostate.
You carry a staff, Dalish.
It's a bow.
A bow with a giant glowing crystal at the tip.
Yes, it's for aiming. Old elven trick you wouldn't understand.
I take it you're the company healer.
Yes, first time I ever picked up a sword was when the Blight hit Ferelden. Never put it back down.
He makes a potion that'll put you right back on your feet after even the toughest fight. It tastes terrible, though.
That's because it's a poultice, sir. You're not supposed to drink it.
So, how do you join the Chargers?
Killed some people.
Skinner didn't take kindly to nobles testing their new swords on the elves in her alienage.
Bull took me in. Now I get paid to kill shams.
This is actually really good behavior for her. She's not marking her territory or anything.
Grim, is it?
Grim doesn't talk much. I'm pretty sure he's the lost king of some small country, or a chieftain. Something like that.
You really take in anyone, don't you?
Anyone who can carry their weight in a fight.
And who can put up with your bullshit, chief?
Man can beat the Chargers, cause when it hits
Yeah.
you where it hurts.
And suddenly change in audio quality.
And loose your skirts. For every bloody battlefield will gladly raise a cup. No matter what tomorrow holds, our horns be pointing up.
Thanks for coming by, boss. Glad you could meet some of my team.
Even though I rarely ever see you fight along your team. That's funny, the whole creme thing, like, I was honestly pretty oblivious to it until I think I came to the cross. I'm like, wait, are you supposed to be a woman? Or a trans person? I guess that's just how much of a non-factor it is for me.
So early after the night we had.
I'd like to hear more about the Chargers.
Always happy to talk about my guys. What do you want to know?
You have people from plenty of different backgrounds in your group.
Yes, well, when you're in Orlais and you look like me, you can't be picky about who you take in. A lot of them got turned away from other companies that didn't want a knife here, or a crazy dwarf. Their loss. You get my back in a fight and carry your own weight, you're good with me. How about you? You had a company of your own? How did you put yours together?
I used Teleshock.
My company was mostly Talvashoth, like me.
That makes sense.
Well, It's better than becoming bandits, I guess.
How did you start the group?
It's easy to make a name for yourself as a merc when you're a head taller than most folks. I spent a year or two working for Fisher's Bleeders, but their captain was crap. Figured I could do better. The best folks in the Bleeders agreed with me, so we split off.
I imagine Fisher disagreed.
He came at me. I snapped his sword in half, and we talked things out over drinks.
What are the craziest jobs you've ever taken?
Besides this one, there's a lot of violence between the nobles here, but that's standard work. The fun stuff is when they party. They always want to impress each other, and that means getting something shiny. We've hunted wyverns, fought through caves to find some old magical crap. Even went giant baiting once.
Giant baiting?
What's giant baiting?
So this old guy, Comte Van Chess, has some kind of a pageant planned. But he needs a giant, which is also some damn cave.
Did they ever mention giants in any other game? Because I don't ever recall giants.
That cave himself. So we go in, kill some spiders, find the giant, and wake it up. It attacks us because, of course, it does. And we let the big bastard chase us outside where Van Chess is waiting.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And then, of course, I came across like a codex entry of like no, not the Venatori, the Red Templars were trapping and trying to infect giants with red lyrium and trying to control them. And it mentions that they've only found male giants and not female ones, which is like, oh, okay. Like, that's either two things. It's like, are they gender neutral, although they're male? Or is this just another excuse from BioWare? It's like, oh yeah, we just haven't seen a female one. Maybe they're super rare yet because reasons. Because, actually no, because they didn't want to make a model of a female giant with boobs because resources.
That was actually your plan? To let a giant chase you?
Yeah, we had to stay out of reach, but close enough that it wouldn't give up. It was tricky. Good news is the giants are slow. Long as my guys ahead could clear out the spiders, we were fine. Bad news is the giant spiderwebs slow you down a bit more than you think.
But at least Comte Van Chess got his giant for the pageant.
Turned out that charm was a phony. Giant ate the poor guy alive. It's okay, though. We still got paid.
I'd like to know more about
It all
Krem.
turned out at the end because there was gold involved.
And a better second in command. The troops need someone to complain to when I'm being a hard ass. He's good for that.
You don't have a problem with him being from Tevinter?
Nah.
But you hate the Vince?
Sure, but he's not a Vint. He's just Krem. I can get worked up about a group or a nation just fine, but people... It's too much work to hate them one by one.
You don't have any problems with him being a woman?
He's not a woman. Look, you and I have to walk carefully so we don't accidentally break the furniture or the elves. We're probably not the best people to go around deciding what's normal. Krem's a good man. I don't give a nug's ass that it's a little harder for him to piss standing up.
Which is weird. So, I've seen people bring this up with Iron Bull's point of view, or at least he seems to represent like the Kuhn's point of view on trans women and stuff, and it's been retconned, at least from what our understanding from Sten in the first game, because if you're a female character, he complains a lot about you being a female. It's like, why are you dressed like a soldier? Why aren't you dressed like a woman? And like, you know, women don't go out in the battlefield. That's not the proper way in the Kuhn. And this seems to be just the complete opposite. So there's a couple of reasons why I could see this. But BioWare wanted to retcon it because they didn't want to make the Kuhn, I guess, be so totalitarianism, maybe. They kind of didn't want to make the Kuhn seem as negative. They kind of want the Qun to be just a completely different philosophy, and didn't want to just make it like anti LGBT, because they don't want that affiliated, like, automatic, like, oh, they're anti LGBTQ, so they're the bad guys. But like, I think you kind of, which honestly I think that's probably the reason why. And although if that wasn't the reason, I think what would have been interesting to do is make Iron Bull's like point of view actually be different, and not what's expected of the Qun. And when you do his character quest, which is assisting that the Qun in protecting his ships, and then you have to choose between saving the ships or sacrificing the chargers. During that discussion with like the Qun representative, which is an elf, be like, oh, like, why have him be kind of like, you know, why do you have this female soldier running around in armor and letting him pass? Like, oh, like, I have no problem with it. Well, the Qun does. Like, no, they don't. Yes, they do, Iron Bull. It's like, I think you need to go get reprogrammed. It's like, you're not remembering the Qun right. You've been away too long. And that kind of can tie into his personal quest, whether you sacrifice the Chargers, and then the implications later in Trespasser, where it seems like he probably did either reinforce himself with the Qun or go back for reprogramming, and just completely fall victim into the part of the Qun, and therefore you later have to kill him. Or just go back, or of course he becomes Talvashop if you do save the Chargers, then, well, no problem. He still holds his belief, even if it isn't part of the Qun. He holds, like, positive beliefs on people's choices and whatnot. That would have been kind of interesting to do, but they didn't go that way. And again, I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of the retcon is. I mean, it could have, we'd kind of discussed with Lessons Learned podcast yesterday on diversity and whatnot. It could be an attempt to try to make people more inclusive. I personally didn't even have an issue with it the first time as well. It's like, oh, hey, that's actually kind of neat. I didn't feel forced down my throat or anything. And I follow the lore, like, I pay attention to it, but I don't, like, read every single thing, or or move around every character around so I can listen to different dialogues. So I didn't even realize it was like a retcon. And I guess when it comes to certain things like that, when trying to be inclusive, like, is it a good thing to retcon?
Good day.
To retcon lore in order to be more inclusive? And I guess, like, the answer to that would probably be, like, well,
something like that.
I'll cop out and just say it depends. I guess it depends on whether it's genuine or not. And it's not just like a way to just tick a checkbox in the back of the box saying, oh yeah, look, we're inclusive. It's not like some cynical move. It's actually trying to be inclusive. Or maybe just trying to fix like a mistake of the past. The one that I constantly bring up is male shepherd in Mass Effect 3. That it just feels like it comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, you can be gay now as a male shepherd, which to me as a gay man is great.
Going well, I hope.
I kind of wish I had better choices in terms of male partners, and I wish I could have expressed myself sooner. But I kind of also want there to be like an in-game explanation. It also depends on execution. How well is it done? How well is it researched? How well is it written and executed? I probably already said that. And like, I thought the Mass Effect 3 stuff was terrible because it felt pandering. It just felt like, hey, oh yeah, you can be gay now. Reasons. it would have been interesting to give the characters a little bit more nuance and be like, explore that feelings. Like, hey, Caden, I didn't realize you had feelings for me. Why didn't you say anything sooner? Well, I was afraid. Social, you know, the military kind of like make the alliance. You could just mention that, saying, you know, people are open, but we still have some holdovers from, you know, previous military experience, and I was afraid of how you feel, but, you know, how you would accept me, or if you wouldn't return my feelings. But, you know, the world is ending, or the galaxy is ending, so I might as well just get my feelings out now. How do you feel about me, Shepard? Yeah, let's go do it. Or like to have like a male Shepard that starts a relationship with another male, and be like, you know, at some point I was come to terms with like his own homosexuality. It's like, oh yeah, I've always had these feelings. It's just I've always wanted to be professional, and again, holdovers from our previous society, and have like just be like, I wanted to put on this persona. I was constantly concerned about how my career, but again, the galaxy's ending, and I've made it to such a point to where something like that wouldn't matter, even if anybody did have a problem with it. And that would, I mean, either for lack of foresight, or one of the biggest things with issues with Mass Effect 3 is just the development time. They probably wouldn't have had time to flesh out something like that.
What's been going on?
Ambassador Montelier sent me a basket of flowers to thank
Scout
me for my
Harding
work
has
with the
anything new to
Inquisition.
say?
She's so lovely.
I have to go.
And it's sort of pseudo-romance, flirty thing. Like, I don't think we've ever gotten any dwarven romances in any of the Dragon Age games.
Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed, Templars going rogue. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before
I was going to say, what else is new?
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
That's enough for now.
Thanks, I will.
Another time, then.
Thanks, but I won't be taking your advice. So I think I've almost talked to everybody. It's only taken me like an hour to get through all this dialogue. This is interesting. We've discussed like a lot of padding when it comes to gameplay, but this is something like, this is the type of padding that I don't mind. It's just being able to have all these conversations with these characters, flesh them out, flesh the world out. Like, this is the type of padding you should go for in a game. And it's completely optional. I don't have to go and talk to all these people. I choose to.
The Maker has put you on a difficult
And let's talk to my favorite character.
walk it safely.
At least my favorite, like, non-plot related character where they could have done something. But this is the type of padding. It's, you don't have to talk to any of these people if you don't want to. You just keep progressing the game, and rather than just having like, oh, I lost my ring. So during my grind fest of just trying to level up my character and do some other things off stream, I ran into yet the three quests that involve some lady who lost her ring. It's like, are you serious? Like, oh, I lost my ring. So we got the lady in the hinterlands who lost her ring, or the Templars killed her husband and took his ring. There was another one. I'm trying to remember which one that was. Oh, the Oasis Temple area, where some lady she worked in the mines before and took her ring off and hid it in one of her stashes, and she took her ring off because she was pissed off at her husband or lover, and then he died, and then the mine was filled with spiders and she couldn't go retrieve it, and now she kind of resents putting her ring away and wanted her ring back. And then the third one is like in the Emperor of Leon or whatever. I have trouble reading French words and pronouncing them, reading them out loud properly. There were one of the refugees lost her ring and she wants it back, her mom's ring. It's like is every map going to have some lady who lost her ring and wants her ring back? It's like that's excellent quest design. All right, Mother Giselle, what's up?
I remember our talk out there, before we found Skyhold. It wasn't just the Maker who put me on this path, was it?
The Inquisitor could never have been Cassandra, or Liliana, or me for that matter. We are too political, too tied to the Chantry and all its failings. But I did not make you stand against Corypheus. I did not make you risk death to save the people of Haven. Only you could be the Inquisitor. I only pray the power of the Inquisition is enough.
So it makes sense.
If the power of the Inquisition isn't enough, we're all in a great deal of trouble.
It may seem overwhelming now, but you have already done more than most could have. The Maker has chosen you to deliver us from Corypheus. You have the faith and support of everyone here. Never forget that. Now, was there anything else?
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
How are our forces at Skyhold doing?
Still in shock, for the most part. To see Haven destroyed so soon after the Conclave. You said many, but still lives were lost. And traveling through the wilderness did not make treating injuries easier. For all that, though, more people arrive every day. Some are refugees, but others want to help. Your Inquisition is growing. I pray you use it wisely.
That's the thing. We don't get the choice to not use it wisely. It's like we're always going up against Corypheus. We're always stopping him, and we're never taking advantage of the Inquisition to become our own source of power.
Many who would have starved or frozen over
I mean, that's sort of touched upon on Trespasser, but it's like
besieged by their own dead. They have sent word begging
no choices of power, of
the people
abuse
in the
of
hills
power.
Prise de Lyon are safe again, thanks to you. They may even plant crops this season.
Empress
More than
de
that, I
Lyon.
cannot say.
That's the place I was talking about previously.
It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Farewell.
Farewell.
This is kind of sad that she gets kind of relegated. Actually, maybe the garden, that's the purpose of the garden. It's just like the somewhat important NPC garden. Because that's where none of the party members hang out and none of the advisors hang out. She's somewhat of an advisor, but not really. She doesn't really influence, make any decision choices, or offer any kind of advice on what you should be doing for your next actions. And like Morgan ends up over there too, and her kid. They're all just all over there. Just toss them in the garden. Now the only person I haven't talked to is Varric, because Varric is right now a plot point with trying to bring Hawk
Inquisitor,
over.
I must speak with you.
What is it?
I must explain something first about the Montiliers' fortunes.
I remember you said your family had been forbidden from trading in Orlais.
It's devastated our finances. The Montiliers have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
Wah, wah, wah.
Debt or no, You appear to be surviving.
That isn't enough. A disaster could wipe us out completely.
Actually,
For
you could
generations,
say
we've done
that for
everything
most
to keep creditors
people in
at bay.
America.
Sold our
A
lands to
disaster
stave
could
off interest.
pretty much bankrupt anybody.
It's just...
Even a
it
minor
is
one.
infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
So, I'm sympathetic. It's like, I am sympathetic to her plight and the weight that's put onto her for her family, and I really love this character. But, like, listening to her, like, oh no, my rich family that's been living off of debt this entire time, I can't let them lose their nobility and stuff. No, we can't be reduced to just living like peasants and stuff. Especially since none of them seem to have any interest, any business savvy. Which is sort of like, isn't that capitalism right there? It's like your family kind of brought that on to themselves. It's not like you guys had a series of misfortunate events. But nope, now I have to help the rich stay richer. Or the privileged stay privileged.
Most people worry about their next meal. Never mind an estate.
I'm not blind, but I worry for my family. My foolish sister Yvette with her daydreams. My brothers trying to rebuild our fleet with their...
Yes. So, yeah, you... Yeah, I guess. But then they set up their business in, Antiva. So, yes, you don't want them... I wouldn't want them to know what it is to... hardship in terms of... I don't want them to know that, no hunger pains because you haven't eaten in a week. But you should probably know... They should probably know hardships in terms of how to work, how to make your own living and stuff. What it is to work and be a productive member of society and actually earn the privilege that you have. If that makes any sense, am I being too harsh? Maybe I am.
So you're going to torture yourself over your ancestors' mistakes?
Yeah, you can't fix
No,
people.
But I'd made such progress. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montiliers as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux, I've just learned my carriers were murdered. And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Who hates the Montiliers enough to do that?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
What will being seen with me gain the Comte?
The Comte will drop hints at parties he's to meet with an important visitor. Allies and rivals will take note. Once he's met you, there will be speculation. The Comte will subtly spin reports to his advantage. He will use us. But if he knows who killed my people, I ask that we indulge him.
I hope the Comte isn't making up information just to be seen with me.
I will take full responsibility if that's the case, Inquisitor. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family.
That's the rich staying richer, but I like Josephine, so who could say no to her? I mean, who could say no to her? So cute and she's so helpful to us.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
So let's see if there's anything in the war table, then I'll go help her with her... I'll go take Dorian to deal with his daddy issues, and I'll take her to deal with her somewhat daddy issues, her ancestor issues, her own family issues. Family issues for everybody. Oh, I guess that's where that random Orlesian throne just kind of just kind of showed up.
We are in the mountains.
I'm more concerned about everything scattering whenever there's a draft.
Scutson Haven. Liliana was still over here. 14 hours. Ugh. Alright, new recruit. Try not to get killed.
To work?
Let us begin.
Alright, so finally only an hour and a half in, and now we're getting to the daddy issues. And let's take a rogue. Let's take Cole with us. Even though I don't think anybody else has any input.
I'll ask around again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good day.
Oh, time to take advantage of an exploit. We'll be here. And get some pre-respawnable Fade Touch Obsidian or Obsidian.
Inquisitor, we're honored. May it be with you.
The bar's over here.
May it be with you.
Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian.
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just, what? A smokescreen?
Then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Of course not. Magister Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What would people think? What is this exactly, Father? Ambush? Kidnapping? Warm family reunion?
Yep.
This is how it has always been.
I should leave you to work this out. Oh, no, you don't. I want a witness. I want someone to hear the truth.
Dorian, there's no need to.
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves. I'll need you to explain that. Did I stutter? Men and the company thereof as in sex. Surely you've heard of it. I've more than heard of it, actually.
No. The Herald of Andraste. I am shocked and scandalized.
Such sarcasm.
You're not exactly subtle, O Lord Inquisitor.
I should have known that's what this was about.
No. You don't get to make those assumptions. You know nothing about the Inquisitor.
This is not what I wanted.
I'm never what you wanted, Father. Or had you forgotten?
That's a big concern in Tevinter, then.
Only if you're trying to live up to an impossible standard. Every Tevinter family is intermarrying to distill the perfect mage, perfect body, perfect mind, the perfect leader. It means every perceived flaw, every aberration is deviant and shameful. It must be hidden.
Well, if everyone's trying to make the perfect mage and homosexuality is not seen as perfect, then why want to force breed that gene? I know, I get it, it's pride, and you want your legacy, your DNA to be passed on to future generations because that's our nature, sort of. Talk to Daddy.
Your father might be here to reach out. You could give him a chance.
Let's just go.
Dorian, please. If you'll only listen to me.
Why? So you can spout more convenient lies? He taught me to hate blood magic. The resort of the weak mind. Those are his words. But what was the first thing you did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the rest of his life? You tried to change me.
Use blood magic
I
on me.
only wanted what was best for you.
You wanted the best for you. Your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
Don't leave it like this, Dorian. You'll never forgive yourself.
Tell me why you came.
If I knew, I would drive you to the Inquisition.
You didn't. I joined the Inquisition because it's the right thing to do. Once, I had a father who would have known that.
Once, I had a son who trusted me. A trust I betrayed. I only wanted to talk to him, to hear his voice again, to ask him to forgive me.
Aww. And I guess we're just teleported to Skyhold. So, the whole, like, my family didn't accept me for being a homosexual kind of thing it is kind of trite, and it is kind of, it's like, oh, is that the only storylines we could come up for homosexuals? But in this case, with this game, I'm still willing to forgive it, because it does kind of put it on in a different spin, at least in terms of what something would look like in this universe.
He says we're alike. Too much pride.
Especially
Once I
when
would
it
have been
comes to-
overjoyed to hear him say that.
To serve, like,
Now I'm
almost
not
like
certain.
eugenics and
I don't
blood
know if I can
magic.
forgive him.
He tried to change you.
Out of desperation. I wouldn't put on a show, marry the girl, keep everything unsavory, private and locked away. Selfish, I suppose. Not to want to spend my entire life screaming on the inside. He was going to do a blood ritual. Alter my mind. Make me acceptable. I found out. I left.
Can blood magic actually do that?
Maybe. It could also have left me a drooling vegetable. It crushed me to think he found that absurd risk preferable to scandal. Part of me has always hoped he didn't really want to go through with it. If he had.
I take it this
I
is
can't even
like
imagine
an
the person
analogy
I would be
to
now. It wouldn't
not
like
just
that
like
glory.
those Jesus camp things, but also like back when they used to do lobotomies and use electrotherapy to shock your head, shock the homosexual out of you.
Are you alright?
No, not really. Thank you for bringing me out there. It wasn't what I expected, but it's something. Maker knows what you must think of me now, after that whole display.
I don't think less of you. More, if possible.
The things you say.
I mean it.
My father never understood. Living a lie, it festers inside of you like poison. You have to fight for what's in your heart.
I agree.
Aw.
I see you enjoy playing with fire, Inquisitor. At any rate, time to drink myself into a
Of course you
stupor.
would greatly approve.
It's been that sort of day. Join me sometime, if you've a mind.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
Mother
You'd be
just like, I
surprised at the
think your
credit my
eyes are
tongue
going.
gets me, Your Reverence.
Oh.
There we go.
What's going on here?
It seems the revered mother is concerned about my undue influence over you.
It
The
is
Herald
just
Industrial
concern.
can't be a gay.
Your worship, you must know how this looks.
You might need to spell it out, my dear.
This man is of Tevinter. His presence at your side. The rumors alone.
What's wrong with him being from Tevinter, specifically?
I'm fully aware that not everyone from the Imperium is the same.
To
How
venture
kind of you to
bad.
notice. Yet still you bow to the opinion of the masses.
The opinion of the masses is based on centuries of evidence. What would you have me tell them?
The truth?
The truth is I do not know you, and neither do they. Thus, these rumors will continue.
That's like the only other thing she's used for is just to kind of nag Torian. I don't think she really nags anybody else except for maybe Liliana and Cassandra, but I don't think she's involved in their personal quests.
Oh? I'd like to hear what these rumors are exactly.
I could not repeat them, your worship.
Repeat them? So you've shared them before?
See, I meant no disrespect, Inquisitor. Only to ask after this man's intentions. If you feel he is without ulterior motive, then I humbly beg forgiveness of you both.
Well, that's something.
This sort of thing happens often, does it?
More than anyone tells you. No one knows their own reputation.
Until someone helpfully informs them.
There is that. She meant well, if that's of any concern. It does make me wonder. Is my influence over you undue?
Perhaps. But it's the kind of undue influence I enjoy.
No one accused you of being politically astute.
Not today.
I tease you too much, I know.
Oh, I probably deserve it.
I'll have to find something we can do that doesn't involve teasing. Soon, ideally.
Alright, let's see. Talk to him again.
Always with the questions. What will people say?
I should go.
I won't go
Here I thought we were
through
just
that
getting
just
to the
yet.
good part.
I hit on other people. Alright, I guess we could go take care of... I don't think it matters.
In the Inquisition?
Take care. I'm probably gonna just do this and then take off myself, so thanks for stopping
Good
by.
day to you.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Poivers invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
Lead the way.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Poivers.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
I hope helping us doesn't endanger you.
Hardly. Even a brush with someone as well known as yourself can become a great asset in Val Royal. Giving you the identity of those who murdered Lady Montily's messengers seemed the least I could do. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
Who aren't the
My
crows,
contacts
apparently.
obtained a copy of a document in the archives. Contract for life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montilier's trading exile in Orlais.
Overly complicated assassination plots are part of Orlesian politics, I take it.
They're all too common, I'm afraid.
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royal. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Orlesian businesses live and die by their reputations. The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, Your Worship. The House
I
of
guess
Repose is doing what
they
it
would
feels
boast it out,
necessary.
like, oh yeah, well, look, we took care of
Right,
this contract from like 109 years ago. It only took us that long.
I assume you have a thought or two on this, Josephine.
The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montigny. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
Does Comte Boisvert actually exist?
Absolutely. The Comte's offer to reveal the killers of Lady Montilet's messengers was genuine. So was his information somehow. An end to be tied up later.
I thought you were remarkably well informed about a secret assassin's guild.
We are hardly secret, my dear Inquisitor, just normally much more reclusive. The contract on Lady Montilet's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
Quite convenient.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out Du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
Oh, the games.
Go, then.
Good day, your worship. My lady, I pray we never meet again.
Manly Kunari nipples.
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
We'll deal with these assassins.
I have some thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
Do you hear something?
Oh, goodness. Comte Boisvert, is that you? Oh, the lock's been broken off. We'll find a saw. I realize the cabinet is quite valuable, Comte, but surely... A locksmith, then? As you wish.
Right, back to Skyhold. Let's see, do we get put into... Hey, princess. Did we get put into an auto conversation? Okay, no. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it a day, at least for now. So thank you everybody for joining me, especially Lessons Learned. And I believe we had like some random troll talking about her explosive diarrhea. Well, have a good night everybody.